All right. Let's get into it. Even though we're kind of into it. Welcome to the Social Proof Podcast. My name is David.
That's my job, remember?
The floor is yours.
Welcome to the Social Proof Podcast with David and I, where we talk about, this is a terrible introduction. That's not what I usually do. Hold on, scratch that.
Let's start over. Come on.
Okay.
You got this.
Welcome to another episode of the Social Proof Podcast. My name is Donni Wiggins. I am your favorite business coach, and I'm sitting here with
David Shands. I am David Shands.
Also, sometimes your favorite business coach. We're your favorite entrepreneurs, period. To some of you guys, we're unc and auntie. To some of you guys, we're cousins. To some of you guys, we're your big brother, big sister.
Hey, y'all, YS, don't be calling me unc at the gym. I'll fight you.
Do they call you unc at the gym?
All the time. Yeah, so it was this one guy, first off, he wasn't that young himself. And he was like, man, how old are you? I said, man, 40. He said, man, you really be moving. Like, I'm moving for 440. It was like one of those,
you look good for your age.
Yeah, it's a look, you look good for your age. And I'm like, he's like, man, you've been keeping up with them young boys. Bro, I'm not old. I'm not old. It's just the beard. I look like this.
But you don't even look old. You just have gray hair. I knew people in our 20s, when I was in my 20s, who had a full head of gray hair, but you could tell that they were young men. You don't look old. You just have gray hair. Let's do
But that gray hair makes me look old.
You know what it is? It's your voice. You have an old voice. You have a You do.
It's the combination of stuff.
You have a granddad voice.
It's the
you
old
have that
voice. Mm-hmm. It's the gray hair. It's the no hairline. It's a whole blend of stuff that's making me old.
Okay, real quick. Let's try dyeing your beard 1 week, just for a week, to see what it looks like.
You know what I really want to try? I want to try a hairpiece. Keep it all the way real. I want to get like the glue where they like mat it down and then like just, I want to get
Is there a barber? Is there a barber who watches the Social Proof Podcast that would love to case study this thing out so we can document this process? Let's give David 20 years back of his life.
Come on.
Let's give him back 20 years of his life. We'll document it on the Social Proof Podcast. We'll pull up and shoot at your barbershop.
Yeah, come on with it.
And we want Dave to get, is it a fade or are you going for like the little curly look?
I always wanted like the deep silky waves.
You want the deep waves.
I want the deep waves.
You want the 360.
With the fade. Yes.
You were never able to get deep waves?
Never.
Your hair texture didn't support it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I can get the waves, but it's not the good. I don't want to say good.
It's
the
at the shore waves. It's not in the middle of the ocean waves.
Exactly. I always wanted light skin waves.
Okay, well, dark-skinned people have those waves too.
But not like a lot of times. It's the
you want the seasick waves,
the mix, because typically you like mix. You got the black side, and you got like something else because they have straighter hair or what's more coarse?
4C. I have 4C hair.
4C.
My hair is coarse. You see these edges?
But yeah, so you got the coarse, and then you got like people have different. The
textures.
Sets they have different textures, whether the other side is white or Spanish or something like that, mixed together with, or Indian or something, mixed together with coarse. That's what I want. Okay. I'm not.
Can we do this? Can we operate in a couple of phases? Because we've never gotten to experience you at these stages. Can we get the unit first? It's a unit. Can we get the unit first that gives you some cornrows, some straight backs?
I'm not doing cornrows.
Can we start with some straight backs?
Cornrows would be crazy. Cornrows would be a bit much, I think.
No.
I'm thinking like just a nice little fade, hairline, bow, C cups.
Is that a Caesar?
Well,
you don't even know the names of the haircuts because they don't apply to you.
I never came in like, let me get a Caesar. I think so, though. The low cut fade, temp fade here and on the back.
Why you gotta do your fingers like that, though?
Because that's how I want them joints.
Okay. I would like to, if I organize it, I'm gonna find
in Atlanta, yes.
I'm gonna find somebody who does this, right? If I organize it, we're going to start with the cornrows. We'll wear that for a week.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I'm not doing cornrows.
Listen. We're going to do the straight backs. We'll wear it for a week. Then we're going to take the cut and bring it down to like a curly little box situation. Like an all-around even curly that you got to spray with some water in the morning and run your fingers through.
Hey, real quick, are we like really coming up with a plan, or you're roasting me on the low? I just want to make sure.
No,
I just want to know. I don't know if you're laughing with me or at me.
I am coming up with a plan of what we'd like to see happen.
Okay, because you know how you could be roasting somebody and they be all into it because they think it's a plan, but you're really cooking them on the low.
I mean, it's a unit at the end of the day.
I want my little unit. Hey, if anybody's in Atlanta and can do a unit, let me know. I want to get a little unit.
I'm going to make a post about it, put it on Instagram. I can't be on Instagram more than 3 hours a day. My social media, my screen time, my overall screen time usage is trash right now. And I am fasting for Lent season. And one of the things that I am fasting for is to get back to the productivity level that I had 2021, 2022. Like I was just a different entrepreneur at that time. And I want to get back to it, but I have fallen into the trap of screen time. I work from my phone. I'm on my phone all the time, and I need to get back to sitting at a desk or even on the sofa, whatever, and actually working from my laptop. I remember bragging about, I used to do content around the fact that I am a cell phone entrepreneur. I can really handle just about everything on my phone, even video editing or graphics. You can do it all on your phone. But what I have learned is that phone will distract you.
That's a fact.
Being on that phone, I don't get the same notifications on my laptop as I do on my phone. And then at the end of the day, you're wondering why you're not productive. This screen time, not only is the screen time detrimental to your productivity, but it's just detrimental to your health overall. Like you don't see as well as you used to see. You don't think as well as you used to see. Like your brain can't focus as much because you've got all these notifications happening on your phone right here in your handheld device. And you're consistently distracted, wondering why you're struggling to focus and concentrate.
Definitely a distraction.
What's your total screen time?
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's kind of like cheating because I have two phones. So let's see.
You can add them up.
My total screen time. What's yours?
I asked you first.
No, we're going to do it at the same time. But while I'm looking at mine.
I know mine.
What is it?
Let me asked see you first.
How do you find it?
You go to settings.
Okay, I'm at settings.
And then you go down to screen time.
Down to screen time, okay.
And then that number at the top is how many hours you're on your phone a day.
What's yours?
What's yours?
Just tell me what yours is.
Let me see.
Let's see together. Let's trade. Let's swap. Let's just swap.
Okay.
Golly! When do you sleep? Yo, when do you sleep?
My screen time is awful. Now, to that point, I fall asleep on my phone. So,
I don't know if I'm buying that.
No, I do. I will fall asleep. That's like the easy way for me to go to sleep. So I put on like my meditation music that I sleep to, and then I'll scroll until I fall asleep. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and the phone is still on. So some of that is not accurate, but my screen time is definitely double digits in my phone a day. For sure. For sure. But that's also, it's not just like social media. It's me. I talk to my team via screen time instead of getting on the phone or getting on the Zoom and doing the meetings like I used to do, right? I am working I'm reading reports, I'm writing stuff. I'm ChatGPT, and ChatGPT probably 3 hours of that.
Wow.
I do everything. What do y'all do? Comment real quick. Like, what do you do not from your phone screen?
I do have one hack though. So I put my Instagram, for one, I wound up taking Instagram off of this phone, and then it's on my other one, but I don't always know where my other one is, or my daughter might have my other phone or whatever, right? So that's helped significantly. But I recently just put it back on this phone because I'll create content and I need to post it from here. So I put it back on Instagram, but I put the Instagram app icon on the last page.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of it's not just when I open my phone and on that first page,
it's there.
Instagram's there and I click it. So with it being on the last page, it's not top of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So maybe I should just move. I have a whole social media folder that I should just push away. But then me being me, I'm just going to swipe down and type it.
But there's a little bit of a barrier. If you know you have to do it, it's just not as convenient.
Okay. So I saw you post something this morning in our group.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get to see the whole thing, so I'm going to go look at it real quick. But you were posting something about having a creative day, like a content day.
Yeah.
Help each other with concepts. And there are so many high-level entrepreneurs that are in here saying, I just haven't had it in me to post lately. Yeah.
For sure.
And I know that even we have been struggling. We don't post social proof content clips anymore like we should. I don't post full transparency content clips anymore like I should. And I'm being very intentional about that over the next 40 days. But you know what I'm kind of tired of? These cycles where I have to be intentional. Like, is that normal? Like, why can't you just do it?
Yeah.
Every single day. You know what I mean? I'm tired of, I work very well challenging myself, challenge to challenge. So I'm doing, like you did the challenge where you had to ask somebody to buy your book every single day. Why isn't that just innate? Like you just do it every single day. I work very, very well in those challenges. 30 days, I'm doing this. In those 30 days, I'm knocking it out. Yeah. It's just the way my brain works because I love a good challenge. What has to happen for that to just be normal? Do you think Bill Gates is challenging himself to be Bill Gates?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think at every level, you get a certain level of being comfortable and you got to reinvigorate yourself. Yo, Bill Gates is a billionaire. Yeah. What do you gotta go hard for? He don't have to do nothing. But I think when it comes to purpose and I don't know. I think in a billionaire status, you start thinking about world domination. I think Elon and Trump, they really be thinking about world domination. Like, yo, let me do something crazy that crashes the market so we can just buy up all the land. And we are like the landlords of everyone in the world and like almost like a kingdom king type
That's what
situation.
They're working on. I don't even think they're just thinking about it anymore. They're planning for that.
But so in their pursuit of world domination, they got to hold each other accountable. Like, remember, we got to own people. So just like,
remember, you said you were shaking it up today. I don't feel shaken. I feel stirred.
Yeah, I think every level remember back then we didn't have a whole lot. It's like, yo, after this thing, I'm grinding. And back then it wasn't no build your brand online. It's, I gotta meet you and sell you something. I gotta call you. I gotta do something to connect with a person, right? And you want to get on certain stages and you start bringing people together. But once you start working on your business and not in your business, it's almost, okay, I'll be transparent. I'm gonna go out and sell some books, right? But it only makes sense if we create content around it. It doesn't make sense for me to try to sell somebody to get $30.
Right.
Because we're not there. We're not in that space. We're not in the space of when you get your box of books and you're thinking, okay, all right, I'm at them. I gotta sell 20. We're not in that space.
Yeah.
But what has to happen is we have to have these sessions of really being intentional in building because success is not guaranteed. You don't just become successful and stay successful like people think on social media. Bro, I have up and down months. Donni, I'm sure you have up and down months.
1,000%.
There are billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies going out of business, closing stores. Like, I don't know about trillion, but there are huge corporations that are going out of business, failed. It didn't work. Because if you don't stay ahead of the game, you might have to be out there selling books, trying to get to $30.
Might have to be out there selling books.
Don't get comfortable, man.
Out of the car. And is it comfort? Is it comfort? Because I know people who are struggling that are operating from challenge to challenge. I'm trying to remember. I think struggling was the challenge for me.
Explain that.
Like that was just enough. I didn't have to say, I'm struggling and I am going to challenge myself to push deeper or go harder. The struggle was all it took for me. Yeah. All it took for me was to have nothing for me to go out and chase everything, right? Now things look a little different, and I'm so thankful that I built a business that is sustainable, right? It's been able to be sustainable, now for more than 10 years, 12 years, something like that. But even just in the last 5 years, the level of success that I've been able to accomplish has been sustainable. And maybe that's it. It's the comfort. It's like, I know how to make $1 million. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know how to do that. But the next level, Donni, it's so hard to stay on track for that. Yeah. And I do a good job. So what's crazy is my friends all say when they talk about me, Donni is so focused, and you can't, nope, if it's not on her calendar, it's not happening. Donni is about her business. You can't have certain conversations with her. And sometimes I'm sitting on the outside looking in like, really? Me? Me? And it's really interesting to see how there are levels to this, because my friends perceive me as this person who's always working, always focused, very organized, and I am those things. But I don't feel like those things to the degree that they say that I'm those things. I am organized, right? Like, things have a home, things have a place. I'm very particular about I'm going to handle my business. But in my mind, the season where I should be, the level that I should be operating right now, should be thinking about 5 years from now, Donni. I'm operating in today, Donni.
Well, yeah, I think that's important to even know that it brings attention to it, because some people just don't know, and they're just operating and are thinking like that something's wrong. So I just did this recent hot seat, and shouts out to my guy, man. It was a very engaging conversation, and I realized that some people just don't see the error, which it's no slight to him, because I'm sure that the way I'm operating, there are some errors that it's going to take for someone to put me in a hot seat, whether I'm having a conversation with CJ or one of my mentors or something like that, and they point it out, and I'm like, ooh, you're right. The difference is we have the ability to not be so arrogant and saying, this is the best thing for me, but yo, you know what? You're right. Let me take a look at it. So the fact that you even see it, you know what? I'm operating in today. I need to start setting up some things for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Most people can't even see it though. You know what I mean?
Success really does require accountability.
Yeah, for sure.
It really requires accountability. I'm just thinking at every level, every new level that I have experienced since 2010, there has been a metric or a level of accountability included. And every single time I have gone into my hermit crab phase, where I just want to be alone and want to be by myself, and that happens a lot, things don't move as quickly. Like, we were taught that when you want something, when you're working on something, you keep it to yourself. Like, especially in my house, don't tell anybody what you're working on until it's done. Right? Nope, don't tell, because people will steal your idea, or they'll do this, or they'll speak negatively behind it. And honestly, when every single time I've operated that way, I have felt so stuck and so unclear. Sharing my goals and my visions with people is what helps me get to the next level.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it helps me, and I continue to see it. Don't talk about it. Speak to no one until it's done. And good luck with that.
For sure. Especially for people like you and I who have communities, and we're sharing with the community what's going on. I know that is like, once I say it, they're relying on me to do it. You know what I mean? So that's why I try to share so much in my community. I know you do, like, yo, this is where we're at right now, and not trying to be on our high horse saying we have everything figured out, but yo, this is the challenge, and I'm trying to show you all in real time my thought process and how I'm getting over this particular struggle, but I'm going to go after it. And if you tell your community, especially people that are looking to you for advice, it's like, I can't be scatterbrained and not doing what I said I'm going to do.
Yep.
That's the accountability for me. Or I'll talk to you and say, this is Well, we need to do a better job of holding each other accountable too.
Are you stating that?
I think we need to, yeah.
Yo, Dave, if we tap back into 2021, David and Donnie, ooh, we held each other when we decided that we were going to make, and I love saying that.
Yeah.
When we decided.
When
we decided, because we literally made the decision, and then we held each other accountable every single day, and it happened.
Yeah. I'm blaming mine on my kids.
Yeah, Sarai. You came around and you just changed this man. You came around and you changed him. We gotta get back into that mode. We gotta get really, really great at. I have some accountability partners, but there are certain relationships that put a different kind of fire under you, for sure. Like, especially like day one relationships where we kind of started at the same place, right? Yeah. So, Riyadh, you know Riyadh? Riyadh Jones, Sydney's husband.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I saw him. Shout out to Riyadh. We don't have a relationship.
I don't think I've ever said his name out loud.
Yeah, I have a relationship with his wife, Sydney, but I like Riyadh a lot. I think he's a sharp young man.
I don't know if that's his name.
His name is Riyadh. I know his wife. What are you gonna do to prove me wrong?
I gotta look at it and sound it out, maybe, because I know. I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
The way that you like to challenge the things that I know.
You be wrong sometimes.
I mean, sometimes I be wrong.
How you spell it?
Riyahd.
H. Riyadh. Name mess around, be Riyadh.
His name is Riyadh.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Sydney, hey honey, you are on speakerphone on the Social Proof podcast.
Hello. What's up, Social Proof?
Hey, I'm over here bragging on your man. You know what this reminds me of? What's that movie with Gabrielle Union? And what's the other one where she's like, I'm going upstairs to see your man, honey. How's that Negro doing?
I know.
Deliver Us from Evil.
Deliver Us from Evil. Who was that? Gabrielle Union and who?
LL Cool J.
No, who did she? Anyways, who was it? Two Can Play That Game is what it was. And it was Vivica Fox and Gabrielle Union. And Gabrielle Union is Vivica Fox is sitting in her car outside of her husband's office.
Oh, that's Two Can Play That Game.
Yeah, and Gabrielle Union, they don't like each other. The girls don't like each other, and they do that fake stuff. Hey, girl. Hey, sis. And she's like, girl, what are you doing? I'm going upstairs to see your man. Is that Negro in his office? And Vivica's like, yeah, girl, go on up there.
Bro,
anyway.
I know Sydney like, hold on, where's this going?
I'm over here bragging on your man. I'm about to go somewhere with this. I'm telling a story based on something that he posted yesterday. But David and I are debating his
How do you pronounce your husband's name?
Riyadh.
Thank you very much. His name is Riyadh. Okay.
Well, that's what I was telling Donnie. She was pronouncing it wrong.
Hey, Riyadh.
I don't think I've ever said his name out loud.
So David and I are talking about, just so you guys know where this is going, we are talking about getting back to our old selves, holding ourselves accountable the way that we used to, because we're operating, or I'm at least operating as this year's Donnie, current time Donnie versus 5 years from now Donnie, right? And Riyadh, you made a post, I think it was yesterday, I saw it yesterday, where you said, he did this video and he said, like, hello, network marketing, I've missed you. Because Riyadh was a leader in the network marketing space.
Back? You back in the game?
I'm back after 3 years.
What company you with?
Envision You with David.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay,
good stuff.
Congrats.
So Riyadh, all I know, like, I coached Sydney at one time, and Riyadh has always been the traveling entrepreneur. He's going out, he's teaching, and then he just kind of, he didn't fall off. He fell out of network marketing, right? And yesterday he put together this compilation video and was like, hey, network marketing, it's been 3 years. I've missed you. And then he goes through and he says, I've missed the Zoom calls. I've missed the accountability calls. I've missed the coaching. I've missed the leadership. I've missed the training. I've missed the development. And Riyadh, let me tell you something. You lit a fire in me last night when I saw that post.
Hold on, you back?
No, I'm not back in network marketing.
Oh.
I miss the version of me that was always on a Zoom call, that was always in a meeting, that was always doing a masterclass online, that always had something going on, and I want her back. Riyadh, how does it feel to be back?
Yo, it's definitely a great feeling. You know, after being out of the loop for 3 years and kind of just being in this place of feeling like very secluded, insignificant, and kind of like hidden by God, if you will. And so to now feel like I'm at a place where I'm, healed from trauma. I'm at a place where I'm ready to lead again and lead at a high level. So I think this 3-year break or hiatus for me has been great. I've grown a lot. I've read a lot. And I just I'm a much better leader than I was before. I have a different perspective about the industry and what it can do for people. So I'm looking forward to the future and what it holds for sure.
So outside of network marketing, not specific to that, right? Even though this is your vehicle and you feel very fulfilled, and I know the work that you've done. I've seen you in action, right? What was it? Because I was sharing with somebody yesterday, in fact, my friend, I was telling him, like, I don't know. I just keep struggling with the version of who I am today and the version of who I used to be. And what is this? What is it still depression? Is it overwhelm? What is it? And he said, I just think there's something happening in the world right now, just all over the world, where people are just at an all-time low. Just many people, more people than usual. What did you do to pull yourself out of that phase that you were going through? What's been most pivotal for you?
Yeah, I think it's been a 3-year process of just, healing, number one, because you've been in network marketing before, so you can attest to the fact of building something and then, losing it. And for me, it was building an income that was north of $60,000 a month and then just watching it just dwindle. And so even just grieving that process of like, wow, that's traumatic in itself. And when you're in it, you don't realize that it's traumatic until you look back and like, well, that was traumatic. You lost a significant amount of income. You had to go through some real tough times. And so just to overcome that process, it was a period of time of just processing that in itself. And then most importantly, just never stopping the growth. Like that's one thing that even though I wasn't on platforms, I wasn't speaking, I wasn't like myself in terms of providing value to people, I never stopped filling myself up. And so over these few years that I haven't been necessarily on a platform, on a stage or anything, I've been growing. And so the person I am today is much more refined than the person that I was when I was building, towards the tail end of 2021. So in terms of coming out of the place, it's just been a process of just like healing and growth and just also just allowing God to do a work in me and recognize that I wasn't, dead to the world. I wasn't necessarily forgotten about, but I was more so just hidden by him so that he could process me to make me better. So when I do come out, I'm way better than I once was.
Man, I think you said something powerful. Like there was some success and you started grieving the loss of the status, grieving the loss of the income. And that's really that. I never heard it put like that, but there are people that are grieving the loss of, some past success that they had. And you want to hold on to it because you're not 100% sure that you can do it again. And you can, but it's like in your mind, you're playing, can I do this again? And we just hold on to it as long as we can, even if it's not there anymore.
Yeah. Were you?
And that's a big piece. Not to. I want to piggyback off that because that's something I had to deal with as well. And it's like you have to overcome this thought of trying to do something again. You shouldn't want to do something again. You shouldn't want to repeat it the same way. And that's like the revelation that I had.
Oh, Riyadh! Wait a minute. Because maybe that's it. I've been trying to get back to Donni again. I don't ever need to want to be her again.
That little scallywag. Don't nobody want to be that.
Yeah, and I had to tell myself, bro, what you did, what you did was great, but you shouldn't want to do that again. You should want to do something better than that. It has to be, and so to do that, it's a different level of thinking. It's a different thought process. And so for me, this period of time where I haven't necessarily been on the platform, it's been building that perspective, building that thought process, building that belief that, I don't gotta, and again, this is the whole decision. This was just a past 3-week thought process of me battling this, but over these past 3 weeks, that was the thought I had, you try to do this again. You'll put too much pressure on yourself to try to do what you did again. Even if it doesn't look the same way, even if it doesn't happen in the same period of time and what you did it the first time, you should have a vision for something greater than what was already created.
That's good.
Why would you want to do that again?
Why would you want to do that again? It was great and all, but why would you want to do that again? It was $60,000 a month and all, but why would I want to do that again?
Come on.
Right.
This is why you were that guy that was able to generate $60,000 a month. In order to do that, you have to stand out as a leader, especially in your industry, but you have to train and develop other leaders. Is there ever any has there ever been any feeling for you where it's like, I got to face these people. I don't just have to become again, but I have to go back in and face all of these people that maybe I let down during this hiatus?
Yeah, so I never had that. I never even had the thought of like me having to face the people again. I always knew that I was ready to be in front of people. I recognized that my gifts and my talent and my purpose on this earth is to be in front of people. But I knew that when I came back in front of people, I wanted to have something of value that I believed in, that I knew that they could have a chance at winning as well. And so I think another part of the reason why me being out the game so long, I didn't have that thing that I felt that people could win in wholeheartedly. Like I knew that they could, you know, the comp plan had to be there. The products and the services had to be something that was valuable. And so for me, it wasn't like, can I face these people again? It was like, man, I got to come back in front of them with something of value, of something that they can believe in, And so like, analogy that I just did a call the other day, and one of the situations that I used was Moses in the Bible. And I kind of liken my situations to like a Moses, because essentially Moses, when he was born to Hebrew parents, but he lived in Egypt. And so in Egypt, he had to learn how to become somebody that he wasn't. He had to learn how to become this person of leader, the grandson of Pharaoh, this prince, liking of a prince, if you will. And so he had to learn how to do this. And then there was a period of time where God sent him to the wilderness, and then he had to learn how to be a nobody. So he had to learn how to become somebody in Egypt, learn how to be a nobody in Midian. And while he's in this place off platform of being a nobody, God called him and commissioned him to go lead people and become a somebody again. And so he had to go back into this place, back in front of these people again. But this time he was a different Moses. And that's kind of how I feel right now.
Let that man cook.
He talking greasy right now. Cook. It's extra crispy right now.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, let everybody know how they can connect with you too, man, because I believe you're about to do something great.
Yeah. Before you do that, before he does that, David, Riyadh, during this season, though, you have 2 small boys and a wife, right? You guys are fairly new. Has it been 5 years yet?
It's actually 6 years on Saturday this weekend.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So you're in a fairly new marriage with 2 children at the time that this season is happening. How do you communicate what's happening to your spouse? There's a lot of people who are going through something, and especially as men, you guys hold the weight on your shoulders. You're afraid to communicate with your significant other. You feel this pressure of having to provide and having to show up as this strong, powerful leader in your homes. What's the dynamic? How do you communicate now what's happening to your wife, and how do you get her buy-in and support? Or did Sydney say, out of here, gone, done?
Sydney was more so excited about the idea than I was, because since I haven't been in network marketing, I've just been doing different things, just using my creativity in different spaces. Some things did really well, some things didn't do as well. But I think all of that was just refining me and just giving me more skills to bring back into the vehicle that I'm kind of jumping back into now, which is advertising, marketing, running paid ads, and all this kind of stuff. I didn't understand this stuff when I was doing network marketing the first time around. So now that I understand it, I feel like it's a value add to what I'm building. And so Sydney, on the other hand, she was adamant about me doing this because I haven't had those $20,000, $40,000 months that we were used to. So she was like, yo, whatever you got to do to get me back to me, you going out there and do that. So she was excited about the idea. And one of the questions I asked her, I said, yo, are you ready for the price that we got to pay to build it? Because to build something like this of this capacity is going to require that I'm not at home as much. You have more time with the boys.
You hear this man?
He's talking.
I got way more Zoom calls. And so are you willing to pay that price? Because if you're willing to pay the price, I'm willing to pay it. Then we're gonna do it. So
he said, are you ready to pay the price that we're going to have to pay for this? I'm ready to run through that door.
Let's go.
Now. I'm ready to run through. That sent a chill down my spine, through the side of my face. Are you ready to pay the price? Riyadh, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Go hopefully y'all can find me on one of their podcasts pretty soon. But until then, you can follow my Instagram, Riyadh Jones, on all platforms, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook as well.
And spell that real quick, Riyadh.
RIYAHD Jones, Donni.
All right, got you. Thank you guys for picking up. Thank you. We will talk to you soon.
Yep.
Bye. That was good.
Ooh,
he said, "Are you ready and willing to pay the price that we're about to have?" He set the stage.
Yeah.
He pre-framed her.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we have to get back to this place. I have to be able to be put back in a position where I can provide for this family at the level that I was providing when you married me, right? And honestly, I don't think he was at the time that they had gotten married. I think this is something that he built shortly, throughout the marriage, during the marriage. But it has to be, if something happened and you just fell completely off and you weren't making any money really anymore, it has to be a humbling experience to still face your wife, face your friend group, the circle that you've grown, your children, and not have it, and now to have to come back and say, are you ready to pay this price?
100%. Man, as a man that has to provide, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think even as he was talking, we got a chance to see the journey. I'm doing something, killing it, 60,000. It's just I'm killing it in a space, but then I got away from that and I started doing stuff. That's what I heard. I started doing stuff. I got away from what I was doing, and maybe, I don't know, should he have kept going and doing the same thing he was doing, maybe a different company, but still the same thing, because that's what he's good at. That's what he knows, things of that nature. But we get away from it and just start doing stuff. He says some of it worked, some of it didn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we really start slipping up. We start doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of like working through the issue. And I am 100% guilty of that. But I know that once I start doing stuff, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
And the other point is, if he's not been doing it for 3 years, that means 2022. That 2021, 2022 timeframe is very pivotal in entrepreneurship in the world too, because after the pandemic, life changed forever.
Yes.
Life changed forever. The way money was made, it was so simple. Think about this. I would love to see how many courses were created pre-pandemic versus how many course creators popped up 2021, 2022, around that time frame, right? And the biggest thing is, if you have more coaches, more course creators, more people that are offering a service because we have more buyers, the audience is now burnt out in a way, saying, not that anything's wrong with the course, it's just, oh, wow, I just realized I don't like taking courses. Oh, I just realized I'll buy it and not open it. Yeah. I realized that about myself, right? So the way business is being done the whole world has changed. We're going through another transition right now with Trump coming in. And I think people are going to get confused, and we find those who cannot adjust in the new way things are being done. And this is for me too. I'm doing my very best to get a grasp on the way things are being done now. I am still a little confused about AI. I could do my little thing. I could chat GPT this thing, but I get a real sense of nervousness. Like, the people that's going to really get to the bag are the people who understand it and use it at a high level. And my brain doesn't process this technical stuff like that. So I have to lean a little further in and make sure that I'm operating at a high level in the way things are being done right now. But these transitions are hard for entrepreneurs.
They're hard. It puts me in the mindset of when computers and email became a thing for the baby boomers, and their refusal to come on board. Nope, we still write letters. Nope, I don't need a computer. I don't want those machines in my house. And we even looked at them at that time like, it's just a computer. Like, it's making life easier, right? And it was almost like we judged them because we couldn't understand why you would be so opposed to this idea, like a whole generation of people being opposed to this idea. And now we are that generation of people where this is the next major shift in technology, right? This is the next major shift in technology, and we have to decide to adapt or get left behind. And we know a lot of baby boomers at that time got left behind. A lot of their businesses failed for their refusal to adjust, but those who did adjust flourished. And now later their businesses are 50 years old, 40 years old, and all these things. And so now we are in that season. And here's the thing about the way things work right now. We're not just introducing a computer. Literally, technology has been introduced that can almost replace most human skill sets.
That's a fact.
Right? So at one time, this type of technology has been created where it can literally do what everybody does. Yeah. Now, there's levels to it because you have to know how to communicate with AI. You have to know how to prompt it and tell it what to do. You still have to fulfill. You still have to do some things. But it's not just about learning ChatGPT, creating an account, getting an account and saying, ChatGPT, give me my daily routine for the next 5 days, right? We have to really think ahead and figure out, okay, how can ChatGPT potentially replace what I do, and how do I get ahead of that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you got to look at your industry, look at your market, see where it's going. What we're doing right now, I've been kind of talking about this for a little while. What we're doing right now, I'm here, you're here, camera, microphone. The way that people are getting their stories told, it's changing. It's changing. This is like, it's comfortable because we got the studio set up and it's comfortable. But once the world sees something often enough, they want something, they need to be fed by something else in another way, right?
Yeah.
We used to love the experience of going to Blockbuster and finding it.
Yep.
And there was some people in the Blockbuster office that's like, no, why would we want to take away the experience? The family trip to Blockbuster, right? We don't want to get out of that. But once, like, we have to keep studying our industry. So I'm doing this podcast explain thing to promote Podcast Summit, where I'm going to different people's studios. It's not about getting their story, but, oh, what type of mics are these? Oh, what type of camera you using? And I want it to be valuable for this specific audience. But it's even challenging for me to say, all right, I got to create a different type. I have to give this same information just in a different way so that I can be multifaceted. This IRL, in real life content is going crazy. There are people that are watching people just be the people for hours on end.
For hours.
You feel me? There's no editing. I want to see what's going to happen in real time.
And that's the shift. We went from fuzzy, grainy videos online to improving via iPhone, to now bringing in professional cameras and sets, to now having teams and crews do all this stuff.
Yeah, it went, and the step was scripted. Right? You couldn't just get on TV and start talking.
No.
You feel me?
I mean, but we went from that grainy, hey y'all, so I don't really want anything today. I'm just here to, curl my hair, right? And then it had to be, that got old. It had to be scripted content. You needed to know your 3 bullet points that you were going to stay on, capture the attention right away. You got 10 seconds to capture attention before people scroll. Then you got to be done. You got to be dressed. And now we're back to that BTS content. People want to feel like they're living life or doing life with you. Right? It's back to the phone. It's back to the point of view content. Very, very behind the scenes, in real life, point of view content. But you invest in all this crew. You invest in all this studio. You invest in all this high-tech equipment. It's like we still have to grieve the way that we initially did this. And now it's like, I find myself, I struggle. When I talk about how for example, when I talk about how I'm leveraging supplements like dietary supplements, nutritional supplements, and peptides and things like that, and why I'm using it and how it should help me optimize myself as an entrepreneur, my focus, and, things like that. When I do that content and just set up my phone, tens of thousands of views, if not more. Sometimes it goes viral. But I second guess myself in that kitchen, setting my phone up on my tripod, talking to the camera, just living my life. Do people really want to see this? Is this really, really interesting? Do I really even want to show this? Do I want to do because once you open that can of worms where you're showing people BTS and POV and all that stuff, you kind of have to sit in that space. Yeah. People want to see you get out of bed. It's funny because I'll read comments on some people's content where the influencer or the content creator is stretching and they're getting out of bed, and people will always comment, who recorded you getting out of the bed? Do you mean to tell me you went and set your camera up, got out of the bed, set your camera up, got back in the bed, hit record, laid down, and woke up again, right? Let me tell you, during the pandemic, and I still have this on my phone, during the pandemic, I had COVID really, really bad. And there was a time where I wasn't sure, like, will we be around tomorrow, right? And so I was going through the process of time-lapsing my day. And I would literally sit my phone on a tripod on time-lapse, plug it in so the battery wouldn't die, and I would time-lapse my entire day, including when I went to sleep. So you really got to see me wake up, and it was real. You can see the sun come up and all the things. But I never posted that content because it was just for me. I was documenting my own process. That was 5 years ago. And now, at least 3 years later, it becomes everybody's first move, their very first starting point with their content. But here's the thing. While you're busy critiquing that, while you're busy saying you really went and set that camera up, they're getting brand deals. They're getting sponsorships and partnerships. 100%. They're getting flown out to attend the most elite events. They're making money because the truth is, you really do want to see it. Yeah. You're watching it. That's how you commented on it. You cared enough to offer a comment. There's content that I scroll by every day that I don't necessarily like, but I don't care enough to comment on it. Yeah. You cared enough to watch that content. So while we're joking people and clowning them for creating content this way, for creating content crying in the camera, and I don't love that kind of content, but people do.
What is that next evolution of you? What does that next evolution look like? What does the next evolution look like? And I don't think it always costs more money or more equipment or more team or more employees, but I do believe it's going to start with a really good idea. This is going to be the next iteration of me. Shouts out to people like Kev on stage, man. It's so dope to go from funny videos to skit content to live producing shows to I think you got a show on BET, and it's like there are steps. We can't just live day to day, like you were saying, living day to day. I'm going to create some content to post it, and hopefully it gets a lot of likes today. If it doesn't get a lot of likes, now I'm frustrated. If it does get a lot of likes, tomorrow I'm going to create another post like that. And we're looking at today, instead of the body of work that we are creating, it needs to be steps. So I'm always thinking about what is that next evolution of me, but also being careful not to be thinking so far ahead that you're not properly executing today. And this is the balance. It's hard it's hard. It is hard. I did a locker room session, and we locked in for a couple hours, and they're like, okay, there's a lot. Well, yes, it is a lot. I can't make it easier for you. You've got to go do all the stuff. I check to make sure that all the stuff that you have to do are things that you can do.
Yep.
None of the stuff on the, it's a few hours, Donni. You do sessions, which is, there's a few hours. At the end of it, there's a lot that you have to do. But we're going to go over it just to make sure anything on this line that you can't do. Cool, you could do it. Anything here? No? Cool. All right. You got to do it all. You have to do it all. It's going to require sacrifice. It's going to require stressful nights. It may require more investment than you want to invest right now, but this is not an easy process. It's going to suck. You're going to be depressed broke, or you're going to be burnt out and depressed with money. Which one you want? Either way, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be stressed out until you get to that promised land. But if we see what that promised land looks like, it makes it a lot easier to work today.
And I have news for you entrepreneurs who foolishly, like David and I, the goal was, how do I get myself out of my business? Oh, you poor souls. The The more I have worked on trying to remove myself from certain components of my business, the more I need to be there. And we're seeing this even at a super high level. We're seeing entrepreneurs that are operating at really high levels coming back into their business, coming back in front of the camera, coming back in front of their customers and their clients, showing more of a presence. We're seeing that every single day now, and that is a clue. Success leaves clues.
Yeah, 100%. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready for that next level? Let's shake out of that depression. Let's shake out of that weird feeling that we've been in. So we was in the chat, all of us like, yo, we're in a creative slump, man. We need to get together and get that good energy together. Let's have a content day. Let's have a day where we get together with the community and hold each other accountable. Your ideas can help me. If I'm sitting there by myself trying to figure it out, it may be tough. But if I get in a room with Donni and we going back and forth, it's like, Donni, you should do this. You're like, oh, bet, I should do it. David, you should do that. Okay, bet, that's a really good idea. Get around the energy. Speaking of getting around the energy. I don't know what y'all doing throughout your weeks, but you need to stop trying to coach yourself. Okay? Stop trying to coach yourself. You need to find, there are two things that are going to impact your success in 2025. Two major things. It's going to be coaching and accountability. They've done studies on this stuff. You can raise your likelihood of succeeding by 65% if you have other people holding you accountable. The study also says you can actually raise your success level by 95% if you have regular check-ins with an accountability partner. Stop doing this by yourself.
Stop doing it by yourself. And that leads us to two communities that are ready to have you.
Come on.
Two mentorship communities for entrepreneurs. The very first one that we have is the Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. Dave is working with entrepreneurs every single day, building community, talking to like-minded entrepreneurs who have the same thought process of creating success at a very high level. Themorningmeetup.com. And then I have actionableceo.com. Actionable CEO is for entrepreneurs who want professional, personal, and financial development. We work with you every single day. Listen. Okay, so we are actually in the process of
we need to stop saying it.
But we are.
I know, but we need to just like
let's
pop
just
out
stop.
a show.
We about to pop out a show. We just, all right, y'all, we out.
First off, congratulations on watching this whole episode. If you like this episode you just watched, check out this one right here. I handcrafted this one for you because you like the one you just watched. Check it out.